Okay, moving on to our second video in our series. We will advance to what's called the signature page. But I want to note right away that that's something of a misnomer because there are not and will never be signatures on this page. This page is intended to reflect your actual physical signature page, which your committee members indeed did sign during or immediately after actually your defense. So this is just intended to convey who served on your committee, who's the dean of your school, who's the chair of your department. Nothing more than that. So we'll note that the dissertation or thesis title appears again on line 3 and everywhere in the front matter. That dissertation or thesis title will appear on line 3. There's a certain consistency and symmetry to this front matter formatting. Things tend to always recur on the same lines. If we go down, we've touched on your name. All of this content will have to appear on these lines, 8, 9, 10 for these fields. Here we have month, day, and year of defense. So just, yeah, I think this doesn't tend to give people problems usually, but you either have the date of your presumably recent defense in your head, or at any rate, you've got some paperwork with on it. So you'll need to input that here. But then note on line 10, we have another month and year on the following page. That's still your month and year of graduation. So those will be different dates. Okay. Name of professor. These are just boilerplate examples that we have here. Professor of English. You'll just input whatever field is relevant to your committee in here. I would note that if a committee member of yours is a faculty member at Duquesne, then you do not need to provide that institutional affiliation here. It's implicit and assumed that these are Duquesne faculty members if nothing else is indicated. If a committee member of yours serves at another university or institution, then you'll wish to add a line indicating that. Something like that, say, would be a typical example. But for Duquesne folks, you don't need to indicate that. It's implied. Okay. The next page we have is the abstract page. You have a heading here that's pre-filled for you. You don't need to change that. Again, you're going to have your dissertation or thesis title, your name, month and year of graduation. We've touched on those. Supervised by professor name. I would say it would be normal here to have their credential, most commonly PhD, following their name. If you do have PhD, you can omit the doctor in front. I would recommend against a redundancy there. Text of your abstract, you should just paste in. And they can be quite lengthy, so don't worry too much if your abstract runs onto a couple pages or more. There is no character limit for the ETD or word limit for your abstract text. However, on ProQuest, I believe it is limited to the first 500 words. So if you have a lengthier abstract, just be aware that what appears on the web on ProQuest, when somebody's clicking to get to this document, that may be truncated. So yeah, just something to be aware of. And then finally, to wrap up this second video in our series, I want to touch on what is the content of this highlighted text here. This page should be page 4. Do not change the prior page, page 3 to 1. The first 2 pages are counted but not numbered. So we see that we do not have page numbers for our title page or our copyright page. They're just there, but they are counted, even though they're not numbered, because this, the third page in our document, is numbered with 3. And from that point on, all pages will have a number, a lower Roman numeral number in the case of the front matter, and then the first page of your dissertation will be Arabic numeral 1, just counting straight up from there. In terms of how all that works and how those are set up, where are we? If we go to the home ribbon and we click on that button, we'll see some page breaks here. If we scroll up, we'll see a section break right there. These section breaks govern the page numbering in the ETD front matter. And for that reason, since the front matter has the pages set up as they need to be with, you know, no page numbers here, then we have them start here, then they will switch over to Arabic numerals at the beginning of the main body, etc. I strongly discourage students from adding any section breaks to the front matter, and certainly discourage students from removing any existing section breaks from the front matter. Really would say just leave the section breaks be for the front matter. You can do whatever you want with section breaks in your main body. That'll potentially be fine, but it will mess up the page numbers if you do anything with the section breaks. So just leave them be, and the page numbering should just take care of itself and should not be something you have to worry about for this front matter.